You know, Jim, I've been thinking. You have one of the most interesting jobs in the whole Department of Justice. Here you are, in charge of 28 federal prisons and 18,000 prisoners. The people apparently have very little realization of that phase of our work. They don't seem to realize that every time a prison door opens and a man goes in, another man comes out. That, in a way, is the challenge of the federal prison system. Someday, somehow, all these prisoners come out, come back to live among us. Now, we've done a very great deal for these men, and it seems to me that the public ought to be told about it.
They should be told, but it's a big story, and it's a hard story to tell because every single case is different. Let's take a look at a typical case of interstate bandits.
Who is it?
Bugs.
Hi, Reno.
How are things in Dallas?
Rotten. Got any beer?
Yeah, on the ice. Can't you wait till you get your coat off? Got here early, didn't you?
What's a day or two early? Anyway, I was flat.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Hear from Kitty yet?
Any time now. That's probably Groper.
Go easy with them, crackpot. They ain't loaded. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, sometimes.
And that ain't often.
Where's Kitty?
Somewhere in Alabama. She's due to phone in pretty soon.
There you are, Mrs. Knox, number 811. Now, if you'll have your husband come in and sign the card, then the box will be in both your names.
Thank you, I'll do that. Hello, Rena.
Yeah. Where are you now?
In Birmingham. I looked the place over. We'll do all right, but it'll be tough work. I'll be in Hot Springs a little after midnight.
Good, eh?
Yeah, best I had for 3 days.
They come from miles around to get my deluxe plate lunch.
In fact, all I've had for 3 days.
Cup of coffee and a pack of Camels, please.
Anything else?
Nope.
That'll be 40 cents.
Any dishes need washing?
No, I ain't. And if you think you can sponge a meal off me, you're...
Listen, mister.
I'm broke. I just got kicked off the freight from Mobile, and I hadn't eaten in 3 days. When a guy gets hungry, he usually eats somehow. Now, you got any work I can do?
If you'd have come in and asked me like a man, maybe I'd have fed you free.
Yeah, maybe. I tried that in 20 hash joints.
You can work out that meal all right. For the cops. We got a judge in this town who's pretty stiff on tramps.
Hey, how much is his?
40 cents.
Take it all out of here.
I don't want no dame paying for my meal.
Don't call me a dame. Go ahead, give me my change.
At least as long as you knew you were broke, you could have taken the 2-bit lunch. Instead of the deluxe.
You've been paid, haven't you?
Thanks a lot.
Skip it. I've been hungry myself, lots of times. Is he gonna bother you?
Yeah, it looks like it. Any excuse to make a pinch. Bags can't fight back.
Get in. Where are you heading for?
I was going west to KC, but the railroad bulls kicked me off down the line.
I can give you a lift to Hot Springs.
Gee, it's swell. It's a long hop.
You live in Kansas City?
No. I was going on west from there. Maybe to California. Maybe I could get a job out there.
It's the hardest place in the world to get a job if you're broke. The cops don't argue. They just put you on the next outbound freight.
Yeah, it's the cops. Always the cops. They run the country. A guy can't walk through any town without some big loudmouth cop who wants to know all about him. What are you doing here? Got any friends in town? No? You got any money? You look at them funny, they run you in.
You're kind of sore at the cops, aren't you?
I got a right to be. I've tangled with them all over the country.
Why let yourself be kicked around by the police? You don't really like being a hobo, do you?
I get plenty fed up. But what are you gonna do? You gotta get a break. You don't just fall into things.
Aren't there plenty of people everywhere getting easy money without half trying?
I know it. They say it ain't a crime unless they catch you at it. I just ain't bumped into anything yet. How'd I guess?
No, I fill the tank back a ways.
Maybe it's the distributor. Turn off your switch. You got a nail file? Points are dirty. Try it now.
Want to drive for a while? I'm getting a little tired.
Sure.
Fix that in a hurry. I don't know what I would have done.
I used to fool around with motors a lot when I lived in Detroit. Gee, what a bus. Handles like a dream.
Looks like you know what you're doing when you get behind a wheel.
Yeah, it's about the only thing I do know. I'll be getting out anywhere along here.
Gee, it's 1:30. What are you figuring on doing?
We'll find a place to sleep somewhere. Never mind that. You've done enough for me. Buying my lunch and dinner and giving me a 400-mile lift. Thanks a lot.
Don't be a sucker. Here. You fix the car and you help plenty by driving. Go on, take it. Get yourself a flop over there for the night. Here. Good luck. So long.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Who's there?
Kitty.
Did you get my wire?
Yeah. Frank's the dope. Why didn't he stay out of trouble till we finished these jobs?
Any guy that drinks scotch right out of a bottle is bound to get in a jam, sooner or later.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm glad to get rid of him. He was a good driver, but his tongue was getting too loose. You ain't know anybody we could get?
Nobody would recommend.
That still leaves us in a spot. To pull this job right, we need a fourth guy. Come on, let's start at work.
But we needed someone to drive. A guy that can make a car do tricks, right?
Yeah, you get things quick.
You wouldn't have to be told anything.
What are you getting at?
I think I got us a driver. You said you hadn't bumped into anything yet. That all you needed was a break.
That's right.
And you don't mind easy money.
I could use an awful lot of it.
They practically hand it to you. Any guy's a sucker that doesn't get a share. Listen, I used to be dumb, too. I lived at home. The old man got drunk every Saturday night and beat Mom up until I got sick of it. I got a job in a store on my feet all day. The pay was peanuts and a lot of guff from the customers. Then I worked in a beauty shop. $20 a week. I met nobody but small-timers. So I got wise. Started to have good times, travel, plenty of clothes. No more pikers for me. No more being kicked around.
You don't have to convince me. All I want's a break.
All right. Maybe you'll get it. Come on.
So you've done time, huh?
Yeah, 30 days for a vag.
You don't call that doing time? Why, you're nothing but a kid on the road.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm sick of being pushed around. I'm gonna get into something.
Like what?
Anything. A guy takes so much and then he turns. What kind of a job you got for me?
I don't know if I got anything for you yet. Here's a couple of dimes. Get yourself some decent clothes and stick around town for a while. Unless you want to bounce off with that kind of dough, then I'm glad I know you're just a piker.
I'll stick around. Thanks.
You're okay, kid. $9,432. Those chiselers. I told them big bills.
Nobody's honest anymore.
Speed cop on our tail.
Sit back. You don't have to kill him.
That guy knew us. They don't usually pull guns on speeders. You did all right.
Thanks, Reno.
That was the way with the wife. I couldn't even have a glass of beer, so I left her. But before I did, I told her where to head in.
Don't give us that. You'd go back to her tonight if she'd have you. You like to take it easy and have the little woman wait on you.
Checking the Tennessee State Police calls. They think they got a hot lead on you. Up in Indiana.
Thanks, Hewitt. Keep me tipped.
Right.
It's a lot different than asking for a handout, isn't it?
It's swell.
Just even better times.
Sure got you to thank for a lot.
Oh, you're welcome, Joe.
Looks like you two are planning to pull the Cupid act. Better not start getting soft on each other. It's bad for our business.
Why don't you relax, Reno? The banks are all closed for the day. We're just having fun, that's all. Come on, Joe. Let's dance this one.
Of course, you understand, Mr. Knox, that
All right. Get in the money vault. Cash and good bonds. Hurry up.
This is a stick-up. Just go on with what you were doing. Keep your hands down. We don't want no advertising.
Just stay on your face, lady.
Washington, Bureau of Investigation, Criminal Division, please. Hello, this is Edwards, Special Agent in Charge, Birmingham Field Office. 20 minutes ago, the Interstate Trust Company here was robbed. We've checked the bank's papers. They're members in good standing of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. From description of one of the bandits, the crime may have been committed by the Reno Madigan gang.
We gotta get some sleep tonight, no matter what happens. We can't keep on going like this.
You're just like all the rest, you.
Reno, that way again.
What's the matter with that guy?
Ah, he's got a pretzel for a brain. Some screwy idea women are persecuting him. He's got a grudge against them all.
Ain't it kind of dangerous to have him around?
I watch him. I don't let him get out of hand. Besides, I need him. He's the best guy with a gun I ever saw. He'd face anybody down.
KGAP, Alabama State Police. 4-state alarm. All peace officers in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida be on the lookout for 5 members of the Reno-Madigan gang believed headed south or southeast. Come in,
Come on, we gotta burn rubber.
Now take beer, for instance. Beer never hurt nobody. Besides, it's good for your kidneys.
I notice you take good care of yours. Why don't they get back?
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long to buy some grub.
You don't suppose anything happened to them?
Them? Joe's okay, as long as he's with Reno.
Turn in here.
What for?
We gotta ditch this dough. It ain't safe to hang on to it.
You mean we keep it from the others?
No, I'll tell him. Hurry up, we gotta keep on the jump. 33 grand in cash and bonds.
It's hot and we're hot.
If we don't get through to Florida, if anything happens, we'll know it's safe here for later. Come on, give me a hand with this rock. I want you to remember where this place is. And keep your lip buttoned up about it, see? Lean on that horn, give it the go.
Hey! Wait for me!
Leave her there! Almost once that dumb clock gets back.
Thanks, Joe. That was swell of you.
You oughtn't to do things like that, kid. You nearly got us in a jam. When they turn on that kind of heat, you can't be bothered with a dame.
You can't be bothered. Not unless I'm useful to you. Like casing a job.
You're only in the way. You're wounded, ain't you?
I did it on purpose. I just love getting shot.
She did a lot for me. I figured I ought to help her. I figured we shouldn't run out on her.
The feds always go easy on dames, you dope. Anyway, I do the figuring for us. That's something you ought to remember. Kill those lights. I got a friend of yours out here.
Who?
Kitty. She's been shot. I'm going to leave her with you.
You're Reno, aren't you?
Never mind who I am.
I'm not going to get mixed up in this. I've been reading all about you in the papers. You can't leave her here.
You're going to take her in and you'll get her a doctor. The right kind of a doctor. Bring her in.
Let me take her.
Well, ditch that crate. It's too hot. Cop another. Quick, take anything. Right.
Thanks, Joe, for not leaving me back there.
It's okay, Kitty. Done a lot for me. I won't forget it. You want me to stay?
No, thanks, Joe. That's nice of you, but you go with them. I'll be all right.
She'll be okay here, won't she?
Sure she will. She used to work for this dame a couple of years ago. You know, kid, this is a business we're in. Don't fall for any dame or you're done for. Come on, we gotta travel.
Okay to move her as a doctor?
Yes, it isn't a serious wound at all.
Move me where?
To the city hospital.
Prison ward, I suppose.
That's right. You're under arrest. I'm from the FBI.
Nice work, Anna. So you turned me in. I want to thank you for everything.
Honest, Kitty, I didn't. Honest, it's the truth. The doctor did it.
Yes, we know that. That's why you're going with us.
I ain't done nothing.
No, except that you've concealed a federal fugitive. How about Reno? You think he'll make it? What do you got to say?
I got nothing to say about Reno except he's a good guy to keep away from.
You had a fight with him, and he left you for the cops, huh?
Say, what is this, an ambulance or a rubberneck bus? Put me in.
Are you nuts again? They got us. Toss your rods out in the road. Okay, coppers.
Straight streets, boys! Straight streets on the line!
Come on, kid.
Fine place to keep men locked up.
Well, the local mugs don't seem to mind it. They're always coming back.
Still running your kangaroo court?
The boys have got to have some fun.
Well, Washington's taking this jail off the list, so you won't get any more federal prisoners.
Maybe they should build a nice hotel for their special crooks.
Hear ye, hear ye. The kangaroo court of the county of Sherman is now in session. Everybody out in the hall. Out of your cells with your back to your wall. I don't mean one and I don't mean two. I mean the whole screwy crew.
Come here, kid. Swear him in.
Do you solemnly swear by all that's degrading that the evidence you're about to give before this honorable kangaroo court is the truth, the whole truth, and no beating around the bush, so help your lying soul?
You're charged with breaking into jail without the consent of the inmates. The fine is $5. How do you plead?
Oh, I ain't got $5.
How much you got?
I'm broke.
Give him the mercy of the court.
Stay out of it, unless you want to get the same.
Stop! Stop! That's enough.
For holding out in the court, you scrub the tank every day. Come here, you.
Can it, will you?
Oh, another smart guy. Give him the mercy of the court.
Take it easy, you guys. This is Reno.
You Reno?
Yeah, Chisler. I'm Reno.
Well, you've been getting away with plenty, but they're going to hand you the book this time, Reno.
That's my worry. And cut out the small-time kangaroo court stuff.
Oh, but it's for everybody to buy razors and shaving soap for the guys that are broke.
Yeah, I know different, see? It's just a big racket so you and your pals can get all the gin you want. While I'm here, cut it out. I don't like all this yelling.
Okay, Reno.
Don't worry, kid. This is all part of the overhead. And don't forget, that's a lot of dough we got stashed away. You and me are the only ones that know where it's hid. I told Bugs a phony.
And what about Groper?
Nah, Groper's due for one of his nutty sprees any day. Now, look, the judge is going to throw the book at me this time on account of my record. So you'll hit the bricks first. And when you
What do you think I'll get?
Oh, a couple of years. They can only hold you for driving a hot car across the state line. And when you're released, go get that dough and get in touch with Huey. He'll find a way to spring me.
Okay.
If anything happens to that cash, I'll know who to look for.
Count on me, Reno.
Well, there she is, boys, Atlanta. Will never hold me.
Let's go.
Four coming through.
Four commitments.
Give your name and sentence.
George Jacklin, 4 years. Joe Cameron, 2 years.
Albert Crane, 3 years.
Reno Madigan, 20 years.
Dress these men in and put them in the quarantine cell block.
Yes, sir. Come on.
What's that quarantine?
Search me. We never had nothing like that in Joliet.
No talking.
Reno,
Yeah?
this ain't as bad as I thought it would be.
You wait. They kind of ease you into these G-jugs. You'll get your belly full.
Ain't you the one the papers call Kitty the Kid from Louisville?
Yeah.
Gee, it must be swell to run around with a big-time guy like Reno Madigan.
Don't let the papers kid you. He wasn't such a real guy.
Well, didn't you have any good time?
No. Just sore feet from dodging cops.
Then you ain't going back to him?
I wouldn't go back to him if he was in the next room. Leave me alone, will you?
Charity, you know these girls are in quarantine. Keep away from them.
Yes'm.
Kitty, why haven't you cleaned your room?
I'll get around to it.
You're on schedule here like everyone else.
Okay, nothing communicable. How long have you had that bullet in your arm?
Couple of years.
We better take it out for you.
You can leave it alone. It's a souvenir from your G-men.
Might cause you trouble later. You'll be a better man without it.
I'm as good as they come right now. Besides, I don't want you messing around me.
Yeah, recommend that this man see the dentist. Very bad teeth. All right, you can put your shirt back on.
He's got a few loose buttons.
Take these two back.
Light duty. High blood pressure.
How'd you do that?
Fell off a freight car.
Why didn't you have it set?
I was broke.
You able to use that hand much?
No. I lost 4 jobs because I couldn't do any heavy lifting. After that, I kind of didn't look for work no more.
Oh, I see.
You keep on having a good record, and I'll see if we can find a place for you in the clothing shop.
Thank you, sir.
That's all.
Number 12, George Bugs Jacklin, served 2 years in Jackson Prison, Michigan. Good record there.
I don't expect any trouble with him. He's fat and he talks too much. We better give him some hard work to do. He needs it.
No, not in his case. He has high blood pressure. You better put him on light duty for a while.
Any mental trouble?
None that I could discover.
Let's see, education? Oh, yes, he only got as far as the 5th grade.
He's mentally slow or retarded. He ought to attend the school.
All right. What about his family?
Only one I've been able to contact is his wife. He walked out on her 2 years ago. Frankly, she's anything but friendly. In her letter, she says she's had enough heartbreak from him, but he's nothing but a tramp. She wants us to keep him here. They have one child, a boy, 4 years old. They're on relief.
Well, she probably has plenty of reason for being bitter. But she could help us straighten this fellow out if she would. Looks like a job for you and a tough one, Chaplain.
I'll do what I can.
All right, let's talk to him.
All right. You're next.
Take off your cap.
What's all this about?
Oh, they try to sell you on being a sucker.
Your name?
George Jacklin.
How old are you, George?
36, sir.
Ever been in prison before?
Yes, sir. Once.
Where?
Jackson.
You're married, aren't you? Have a little boy?
Yes, sir.
How long since you've seen him?
Couple of years. She hadn't kicked me out, I probably wouldn't have gotten this jam.
Now, be man enough not to blame your wife for this. You knew she was on relief, didn't you?
Why, no, sir, I didn't.
Well, what do you want to do about it? Let things slide like this or go back to her when you're released?
I want to go back to her, Warden, but it's no dice. I'd be okay if she'd give me another chance.
All right, we'll try and win her over.
Excuse me, Warden, but you don't know her. When she makes up her mind, she forgets how to hear from then on.
Well, we'll try. What have you worked at, George?
Oh, lots of things. I drove a truck, and I worked in a brewery, and...
Yes, well, we don't have any breweries here. What would you like to do?
Well, learn some kind of trade, I guess.
Yes, well, you better think that over. We'll give you easy work till you improve. Maintenance, sweeping detail. Oh, you better take some schoolwork. You need it.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Number 13, Albert Crane, nickname Groper.
May I make a statement here? I had his name taken off the list. He probably should be transferred to the hospital for defective delinquents at Springfield. He's suffering from a pronounced persecution mania.
Oh, a definite mental case, huh?
Yes, sir.
Call the Board of Mental Examiners. If they decide he's insane, we'll submit his case to Washington. Next one?
Number 14, Clyde Madigan, known as Reno. 1 term in reform school, 2 sentences for armed robbery, 1 in Joliet and 7.5 years in Folsom. Bad record, attempted escape, twice assaulted prison guards, habitual criminal.
He's a tough baby. Had 2 bad conduct reports already this week. Talking back to officers and being generally cocky. Certain inmates are starting to hero worship him. He'll need plenty of discipline.
Good physical condition. He has a spent bullet in his right arm. Doesn't want it removed. Why not? Stubbornness.
Mentally okay, has a cutting mind, intelligence above average. Resented very much being a guinea pig for my tests. He's prison wise.
Finished first year in high school. He needs education. We have too many deserving cases to waste time on him.
No family ties that we can discover except an uncle in Iowa City. He wants to have nothing to do with the prisoner.
Let's talk to him. Let's sit down. Your name?
Reno Madigan.
Clyde is your first name, isn't it?
It used to be.
It still is while you're here. What kind of work do you want to do?
Build time and get out sooner.
How about learning a trade so you can amount to something when you're released?
When I get out, I'm an ex-con, a loser. Nobody wants that kind working for him.
Our experience has shown different. That is, if you want to make good.
It's my business what I do.
Now, you can be tough if you want to, Madigan. We can be a lot tougher. You're assigned to the breaker room, textile mill.
That's pretty hard on a guy there.
That's what you need. That's all.
Just a lot of hot air. Don't give him a tumble.
Back to your detail, Madigan.
Number 15, Joe Cameron, no previous record except 30 days for vagrancy in Pocatello, Idaho.
I don't think he'll be any trouble. He seems to obey the rules all right. Worst thing is, he looks up to Reno.
Good physical condition, except for a badly healed wrist, which keeps him from doing any heavy work. I'd suggest that we operate.
He's very impressionable, inclined to be imitative, and look up to older criminals like Madigan. In view of his youth, I think he belongs with the first offenders in Chillicothe.
That's the way I feel. He can be definitely helped there. He belongs among younger, less hardened men.
What about his family?
A broken home. His stepmother, Marie, a woman of Polish descent, died 7 months ago. It was her harsh treatment that caused the boy to leave home. The father has disappeared since his wife's death.
Let's talk to him. Now, sit down. You're Joe Cameron, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Ever been in trouble before?
Yeah, once for vag in Pocatello.
You like it here?
Who would?
Well, how'd you like to be in an institution with younger men, fellas about your own age?
My friends are here.
Who?
Reno and Bugs Jacklin.
Oh, you think they're your friends?
Sure. They're all the friends I got.
Huh. Well, anyway, Joe, we're going to take a gamble and spend a little money on you. We'll try and have you transferred to our industrial reformatory at Chillicothe. You'll have a better chance there. You can learn a trade. If you get along all right, you won't even have to live in a cell. How's that?
What have I got to say about it?
Now, just a moment. You're not doing us a favor. It's a privilege to go to Chillicothe. The government will have to spend lots of money teaching you a trade. Remember that. And keep away from Reno. He'll only get you into more trouble. That's all.
The rat of a warden stuck me in the breaker room. Sending me way up north to Chillicothe.
Oh, the reformatory. That's swell. It's easier up there. Maybe you'll get out quicker.
Remember the dough and Huey.
Don't worry, I'm not forgetting. I'm not taking any of their soft soap either. They can't put nothing over on me.
Charles Moxley from McNeil Island.
Yes, sir.
Joseph Cameron from Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Larry Lee, Leavenworth.
Yes, sir.
Dress these men in and put them in quarantine.
Yes, sir.
Moxley to cell 340, Cameron 342, Lee 344.
Read that carefully.
How come some of them wear brown uniforms?
They live in dormitories instead of cells. They're the guys that can be trusted. Some of them even live in the honor dormitory. Get to sleep late on Sundays.
Ah, don't let them kid you. That ain't so much.
Gee, this is better than Leavenworth.
Yeah, ain't it? Just like going to college. Except for the bulls that tell you when to get up and boss you all day and tell you when to go to bed. No matter how they treat you, if you ain't free, you're still in stir.
Why all the bad conduct reports, Kitty? Aren't you being treated kindly here? You might as well know that your men have been caught. They can't come to your rescue if that's what you're hoping for. You know, there's one thing you must understand right now. Every inmate here has to earn her own way. Now, if you prefer just to do time, I'll have you transferred to the correctional institution at Milan. They'll let you sit in a cell there until you're released.
It takes a little time to get on to things here.
Sit down, Kitty. Don't you like the sewing shop?
I hate it.
Well, it's looking a little far ahead, but what do you expect to do when you leave here?
I don't know, hadn't thought of that yet.
You won't be able to go back to the old crowd. They're all in custody. I suppose you had a lot of good times.
No, not yet. We were just getting started.
What kind of work did you do before?
Before I tied in with Reno?
Yes.
Beauty work. I got 20 a week.
Oh, I see. Well, that's about 1,000 a year. Now, let's look at this from a good business standpoint. This is from the Department of Justice. Your share in the profits previous to the 2 robberies. You worked 2 years for Reno at a little less than $500 a year.
Oh, that's wrong.
That's the record. And on top of that, you've got to serve 1 year and a day here. Now, don't you think you've been just a little bit stupid? Would you like to go on with the beauty work while you're here?
Yes, I would. I'd like it better than the garment shop.
All right. You know, Kitty, you're here to be helped, although you don't seem to realize it.
Nobody knows it, see? I keep it a secret, see?
That's right. You and I are the only ones who know.
It's women. They're always hiding in my pockets.
Little women or regular ones?
Full-sized ones. But they're awful smart. Whenever I look for them, they're gone. They always take my money with them, too. Sometimes they even take my cigarettes. I hate them. They're too smart.
I see. Now, the next time this happens, you'll come and talk to me about it?
Sure. Sure I will. I know you won't tell nobody. You see, I trust you. Everybody else here is crazy. I know. The way they act. So don't you tell nobody.
How's the conk?
Oh, getting better.
Look at that. A little while ago, I was like a guy with a dead arm. Doc's a swell mechanic. Now I'm as good as anybody.
The doc said if I hadn't have had this bump, if I'd have had it taken off before, I'd have never gotten no jam. I don't figure it. It's too deep for me.
I don't know. Sort of mixed up myself. I always thought it was a load of bunk they were handing us. But when they do this for a guy, it kind of stops you. They must know something about something.
So, Kitty, how do you like the beauty work?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Dr. Hollis,
Yes?
it's no use asking, I guess, but I'd like to write to a friend of mine. He was... Oh, never mind. You wouldn't let me do it anyway. You wouldn't...
If you mean Reno Madigan, I couldn't permit you to write to him.
No, it's not him. It's Joe Cameron.
Joe Cameron? Why, he's been transferred to Chillicothe. Well, if he's in Chillicothe, it means he's expected to make good.
You mean might be allowed?
Possibly. If it's an influence to help you both, I'll consider it.
Thank you.
How does your wrist feel now, Joe?
Doc sure knows his job.
Well, you can't do any construction labor yet. Farm work's too heavy. The foundry won't do. What do you recommend, Mr. Rogers?
Paint shop, auto mechanics, electrical school, cabinet shop, machine shop, welding.
What are you interested in?
Well, a guy that knows machine shop or welding can usually find a job.
All right, we'll try you out. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Principles of welding, elementary machine shop.
Cameron.
Yes, sir.
You've been transferred from the cell block to dormitory B. Turn in these clothes and get a khaki outfit from the clothing officer.
Well, can I move right now?
Yes, right now. Watch your step and hit the ball here. You'll be all right.
I'll be okay.
I'm getting plenty fed up here.
I'm waiting, Miss Jewett.
I won't be here long. The kid hits the brick soon. He's gonna help me crash out. Want in on it?
No. I'll tough it out here. Then I'm gonna grab a dinner bucket.
Yeah, I can see you going straight. The minute you get out, you're a sucker for any nut house scheme.
All right, Madigan. Get back to work.
The officer on my detail said I have a visitor. Who is it?
It's your wife.
Yeah? Gee, what do you know about that?
Go wait in the visiting room.
Yes, sir.
Pass by the gun detector one at a time, please.
All right, Mrs. Jacqueline. He's waiting in the visiting room.
Come along, Johnny.
Pass by the gun detector, please.
Wait a minute, Sonny.
What have you got in your pocket? Put him in there.
Don't keep him, will you?
No, I'll give him back to you.
Mamie! Over here, Mamie. Gee, it's good to see you again, Mamie. Kid's getting big, ain't he?
That's your daddy. Remember your daddy?
Mamie, there's one thing I want to ask you. Just give me one more chance, that's all. This time I mean it.
Well, I hope you mean it.
Gee, you're swell. I can do my time stand on my head. I'll be out of here before you know it.
All right. You can have your cigarette now.
Send him back to the restraint ward. How's Crane coming along?
Well, just fair. He hasn't had a severe attack for 3 weeks. We gave him clothing without any pockets. That seemed to relieve his mind. He's in a pronounced depression state right now, but he shows a little interest occasionally.
I better have another talk with him.
Cameron? Where are they?
Cincinnati. I don't know anyone there. Maybe it's from... Gee, it's from Kitty. She's on parole in Cincinnati, working in a beauty shop. That's sure swell.
Why don't you go see her?
Maybe I will in about 6 months.
You sure are an optimist. What if you don't make parole?
I'll make it.
Yes?
Special Agent Jackson from the Cincinnati office of the Bureau of Investigation is here. He wants to see you.
Send him in.
Hello, Jackson. Who is it this time?
Oh, a boy named Joe Cameron. He was mixed up with the Reno Madigan outfit.
Oh, yes.
They got away with $33,000 in the Interstate Trust Company holdup. None of it's turned up in circulation, so it must be hidden somewhere.
I'll get Cameron for you.
But you do know where it's hidden.
Yeah. Only I can't tell you. I've got to keep it to myself.
You still hold to the honor code of criminals?
No, sir, it's not that. I'm thinking about when I get out. Reno's got lots of friends.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't have to be a stool pigeon to get along here. You owe it to yourself to clear this up.
They'll have to find out from Reno, sir. I'm sorry.
I got pals. Plenty of them. Outside. Bonnie, I'm gonna let you in on something. My buddies are arranging things.
Are you nuts? You know I hit the bricks in 3 months.
Besides, you can't pull nothing in here.
Yeah? You don't know Reno. Listen, chump, I got 33 grand stowed away in a safe place. I'll be out of here before you are.
Be sure you thank the warden before you go.
Why do you want to be transferred to the clothing shop?
Well, I think I can work better there. I don't like the breaker room.
All right, we'll think it over. That's all.
Yes, sir.
It's not for our own good that he wants to be transferred. Switch him to the clothing shop. Tip off the officers on duty there to watch him all the time. Next.
What are you doing here, Madigan? You're not on this detail.
The shop boss wants 4 boxes of number 3 thread.
All right, wait here.
What are you doing, Madigan?
Check that barrel. He's looking for something. Call the captain of the watch. Sit down. I found out that Reno wanted you to join him in his attempt to crash out. Is that right?
Yes, sir. He wanted me to.
Well, why did you turn him down?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I got sick and tired of being in trouble all the time. I've been in stir before, you know.
We're going to take a chance on you, Jacqueline. We've had good accounts of your work, and we haven't had a bad conduct report on you for months. I'm going to transfer you to the Honor Farm.
Gee, thanks, Warden. That's swell. I gotta make good for the wife's sake.
It's very easy to escape from there. We only send the men we believe we can trust. It's up to you, so don't lose your good time. That's all.
Well, Joe, you're going out on parole. All I have to say is, don't come back.
Don't worry, sir.
Keep in touch with your parole advisor. He's your friend. Write us if you feel like it. Let's know how that new job's coming.
I will, sir. And, thanks for everything.
Feel okay?
Yeah, swell.
Those old ideas bother you anymore?
No, sir. Ever since you explained why I had them, they ain't been bothering me at all.
I don't think they will. This is what you need. Outdoor work and plenty of fresh air.
Why couldn't I have left you in isolation?
Funny. What's the date?
You slipping? 26.
That dirty rat. That dirty double-crossing chiseler. He's been out 2 months.
Who's been out?
That kid was supposed to take care of some business for me.
You can't blame the mug for trying to forget stir.
Oh, it's not that. It's the dough I told you about. He was supposed to go get it, see, and then figure something.
He probably got the dough, then just forgot to figure.
Yeah. That's what I think. He can't pull that on Reno. I'll get to him. I'll reach him.
How? By shortwave?
Pack your things, Madigan. Everything you want to take with you.
Why, what's up?
You're going out.
Out where?
You, Z. Get busy.
What do you think that means?
Maybe they're gonna parole you. By mistake. On the other hand, it might mean the rock.
The rock. See, if I land on the rock, I'm sunk.
Look, Bonnie, you're going out. You gotta do something for me. Look up that kid and take care of him for turning rat. Oh, you'll get paid plenty. Don't worry. You know all that dough I got stashed away? Fix the kid and half of it's yours.
Just on your say-so.
Oh, you know me. You know my rep. Why, I'm Reno. I'll be out someday. I never went back on a pal yet.
I don't like rats any better than you do, but I ain't no missionary.
There she is. The last roundup. You can't talk. You never see a newspaper. No radio. Visitors, once a month, maybe. Movies, 4 times a year, maybe. No tailor-made cigarettes. Just work for no pay. And keep your mouth shut. Oh, we got a great future.
What's that? A break?
Nah, target practice.
Why don't they leave me alone? I'm not a sideshow freak.
I know, it's too bad. You were getting along fine with your work here.
That's an old picture before I ever went to Alderson. They'll never give you a break. Just so they can get a little 2-bit story, they'll ruin anybody's chances. Look, it says gun girl. I never handled a gun in my life. Why can't they be fair? Well, that finishes things up for me here. I'll phone the parole officer.
No, Kitty, I think you ought to stay. You can run away for a while, but sooner or later you have to face things down.
You're right. I'll stay. They're not going to drive me into the ground. And if they want to come in and look me over, why, they're the morons. Not me.
That's the way to talk. Now, you take the rest of the day off. I'll get along till tomorrow.
Thank you. Who are you? What are you doing in my apartment?
Me? I'm Vonnie. Remember a guy named Reno? I knew him in Atlanta before they put him on the rock.
Who told you where I was?
I read about you in the papers. I come up here to get some information. I got it. But I didn't figure you'd be home so soon. Joe says here that he likes his job.
Give me my letter.
Sit down, kid. I don't want to have to hurt you. And they don't hold anything against me. Fact is, I work alone lots of nights, and there's $9,000 for the payroll in an old safe right near. When they trust you like that, you can't go back on them. Swell, ain't it? Sort of touches you that humanity can be so humane. Hammond Machine Shop, eh? I gotta meet this guy, Joe Cameron. Come on. Cleveland's 250 miles from here. We gotta get going.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
You better take your coat. It'll get cold tonight.
I can't leave the city. I'm on parole. I won't go with you.
I'm taking you along for safety. You shouldn't have come home so soon. You'd never known I was here.
What do you want with Joe?
A little business for Reno, a little business for me.
Please stay away from him. You'll wreck his chances.
He don't count anymore. He's on the other side. So you're you're both going to be good little parolees. Get your diploma. Back in the sucker society, huh? I guess Reno wasn't so smart at picking his people.
I guess maybe we got wise to a few things.
You get buffaloed, kid.
Leave Joe alone, will you? He's trying to make good. You have to go and ruin things for him.
You seem to think a lot of this guy, Joe.
Listen, I'm the one who got him into all that trouble. He's trying to make good, and I'm trying to help him. Can't you stay away from him?
Joe's a rat. And a rat always ends up in a trap the way it should.
Gonna work all night?
No, just a little while.
I talked to the big boss about your raise. It's going through okay.
Gee, thanks, Chris. That's swell.
No, forget about it. You earned it.
I thought they might hold it against me on account of...
You can forget that, too. Nobody holds anything against you. I wish the rest of my boys had learned their trade as well as you did. Good night, kid.
Good night, Chris.
Hey!
Are you Joe Cameron?
Yeah.
Reno sent me.
Oh, he did, eh? Well, I'm all through with that stuff, and Reno, too. Tell him that.
What'd you do with his dough?
I didn't touch it, see? I never went near it.
How do you like this sucker stuff, working for a living?
Well, at least I don't have to keep looking over my shoulder all the time. Say, what do you want, anyway? Anybody sees you in here, I'll get in a jam.
I don't suppose you know there's $9,000 in that safe over there.
Yeah, I know it. What about it?
And you with a torch. What are you waiting for?
Do you think I'm nuts?
I said, what are you waiting for? Get to work. I don't like reform cons, and I don't mind doing Reno a favor if I can get something out of it. Now get busy.
Call the police. Hold up, Hammond Machine Shop.
The phone's over there.
Give me a nickel. Hurry, can't you?
What's happened? Who's this fella?
He wrote a message from a guy I used to know. Call the cops.
Kitty!
Are you all right?
Why are you here?
Are you okay?
Sure, I'm okay.
He made me come with him. I phoned the police just now.
Well, honey, you've got to get out of here. You can't get mixed up in this. Get back to Cincinnati as quick as you can. How did you come?
Bonnie's car, it's outside.
Leave it there. It's probably hot. Here, take the train and call me as soon as you get home.
What's the trouble?
Don't worry. You'll be all right.
Is this the fellow?
Yeah. He tried to make me open the safe.
You bought him with that thing?
Sure, he had a gun on me. He's an ex-con from Atlanta.
How do you know that?
Call an ambulance. What have you got to do with this?
Nothing. She wasn't even here.
Come on. We'll talk this over at headquarters.
And you will be needed later as witnesses for the people against this criminal. I don't know if you realize what you've done tonight. A known criminal tried to force you back into crime. A year or so ago, you both might have tried to settle this in your own way. But tonight you didn't. You both turned instinctively to the police. Your thinking is right. You have nothing to fear from now on. Any community should be proud of you. If I can help you, either of you, anytime or in any way, come in and see me. I mean that. Your parole officer will be informed when you'll be needed to testify.
Thank you, sir.
Next.
Will you please call my parole advisor and explain why I was forced to leave the city?
Yes, don't worry about that.
I had some bad publicity in the papers down there. Do you suppose it could be arranged to have me work here in Cleveland?
Yes, I think we could arrange it. Is that the main reason? Bad publicity?
Well, it's one of the reasons, but not the main one.
You've seen something of the federal prison system. We help these men all we can while they're inside, because we know that someday they all come out. Thank you.